been interested in real estate for quite some time, and then in 2018, in the spring, just finally decided to pull the plug and just dive in. I think for a while, if you hear the horror stories about if people have had to have an eviction, or if you have bad tenants that don't pay on time and destroy your property, you hear all the bad stories. It's a little nerve-wracking in terms of actually diving in and getting it started, but just decided to pull the plug and just get one under our belt and see what happens. It was a single family home in my college town, as it turns out. I thought, you know what, I'm familiar with the area that I'm gonna buy in. I know that it's a good area. It's close to the university. So it was a single family house. And I think that's been the poorest performer that we've ended up buying so far, but it's not bad. I did. I bought it, and then I very quickly, I think that initially I was kind of thinking, oh, you know, I have insurance, I'll be okay. And then I listened to your podcast and started kind of being exposed to the variety of things that could happen, and scared my pants off. So very quickly I tracked you down and got set up with RLS. Getting set up the first time and the simplicity of adding onto the SERVCE LLC has just been very simple. Once we had our initial consultation and got the initial paperwork set up to form the business structure, each time that we've added another asset, it's just been a quick conversation with you guys. What's the address? What county is it in? And then the paperwork has been provided right away. Very detailed instructions as far as getting the SERVCE LLC set up. And so it's just made it really simple. Just every time that we acquire another asset, the process has just been very easy. The biggest thing is peace of mind. I mean, there's so much to be said for being able to sleep at night. I mean, if you think about the variety of things that can happen, I mean, unbeknownst to, I mean, you can buy a property and there could be something going on, mold or asbestos or something that, you know, outside of your control or ability to even know about. And then next thing you know, you get slapped with a lawsuit. I mean, or you can jump in the car and, you know, something that could happen that's not even your fault. You could have an accident and next thing you know, you're getting sued. So honestly, being able to sleep at night, peace of mind. I mean, just knowing that that's all taken care of via asset protection through RLS is the biggest one. Digging through and looking through some blogs on Bigger Pockets, listening to some podcasts from some CPA firms, some other investors. Whenever I had come across your podcast and listened to some of the things that you were saying, it was just a very clear picture of what you're able to do, how the SERVCE LLC, as it pertains to our choice as far as what we wanted to do, just made it very clear, made it very streamlined as far as how that structure and asset protection would be able to put the assets in places to where that, you know, they're not going to be able to be attacked necessarily, hopefully. And the anonymity, being a registered agent to receive it just really seemed like that you guys had a nice structure in place, a very just organized, easy to understand mechanism to work with you guys. It just seemed really appealing to us, so the choice was clear. We actually prepared for it pretty extensively. We wrote down questions as far as, I mean, everything from how the insurance policies should be endorsed to how we should be signing documents to even you walked us through a visual. I'm a very visual guy, so I needed to see, you know, here's the LLC and here's the asset inside the LLC, and then here's the land trust. And so I feel like that initial call, you were very clearly and easily able to answer all of our questions right away. You're very versed in what you do and what you know. So I feel like that there was no research needed. Every question that we had, you were able to answer very quickly and very thoroughly. So that left me confident that we were in the right hands. It was very streamlined and very quick. You know, once we had identified our objectives and our goals as it pertained to what you guys were going to do for us, very little information was required. We had provided, I think, some of the warranty deeds for the properties, the addresses and whatnot. Basic name, address, city, state, zip, and the setup process was very easy. No, I think it was as advertised. The structure has seemed to be working well. Like I said in the past, adding an additional property once we had acquired those, just adding an additional series, very straightforward. The paperwork is very familiar. So I found it to be very easy to use, very simplistic, and very intuitive. I think that some follow-up questions came up during the interview, and within an hour, within 2 hours, she had responded back to us, providing us the information that we discussed on the call. And then the follow-up, we followed up with her, and she was right back to us at like 8 o'clock at night or something like that. So you guys need to take some time off and rest. but yeah, very responsive, very quick. And, she was very professional, and I appreciate the conversation that we had with her. I find it to be very convenient because if a question were to come up, or an issue were to come up, or a scenario with which you're not familiar, we're not attorneys, obviously, and I think that most real estate investors are not attorneys. So to have that partnership available, to be able to reach out, get that clarification, get that answer. How was it again that we were supposed to sign that contract? Because if you sign it wrong, are you going to run into a problem? You don't want to take that chance, and you don't want to have to worry about that. So just the access and the ability to reach out whenever you need it is invaluable. For some people, in terms of pulling the trigger and maybe hesitating or being nervous or being cautious about continuing to acquire assets and building, without knowing what that looks like and without the familiarity, I think that could inhibit some people's progression towards their goals if they desire to acquire something a little bit quicker. In terms of having that partner that you can reach out to and ask the question, confirm, clarify, determine what it is you need to do in terms of the legal side of acquiring more property. Having that ability to reach out and get that answer right away is, I think that it definitely expedites the process and removes any inhibiting factors that might preclude somebody from pulling the trigger and buying that quadruplex, for example. Let's just say that you're faced with a decision that's going to require you to have some sort of a partner in a legal capacity to answer that question for you that might make a difference as to whether you're sued, as to whether there's going to be a financial liability associated with whatever that fork in the road is that you have. Do you want to get on Bigger Pockets and rely on the blog and some comments that may or may not be the correct ones? Or do you want to rely on a trusted partner with a legal opinion to be able to guide you in the right direction and help you make the right decision that's going to leave you best protected in terms of your assets? I think the answer is clear. You need a partner that's gonna be on your side to be able to help you through that. Yeah, the check-in, for example, we had a check-in with Megan not even a month ago, and we had an opportunity to go through pretty comprehensively, any changes that, again, people just don't think about. Has there been a change in the family configuration? Has there been a change in your assets in any way? Have you acquired any other assets? Just all the things that really could bring about a need to revisit the structure and determine if it's something that maybe we need to look at changing. Again, from a risk perspective, if a change has been made that could put you at risk or put one of your assets at risk, as I said before, you don't know when that event's going to happen that could bring about a lawsuit, and you don't want to leave yourself out there. Well, I guess 10, because we already have referred somebody to you. I think that you ended up setting a similar structure up for her and her husband. They live here in town with us, and so I guess by virtue of the fact that we have referred, I guess it would be a 10. As I alluded to before, when you stop watching this video and go get in your car and pull out. If you don't see someone coming and you cause an accident and they hit you and it's your fault and you have assets that are in your name, they can sue you right now, and they can take your property if they get a judgment, obviously, right now. So I feel like that just with the wide variety of things that could happen right now, I think that right now is the time to act. You know, you've been thinking about it. Obviously, you're watching this video for a reason. You know, if one of your tenants falls down the stairs this afternoon, you need to be protected right now.